Today I'm joined here with Gerry Duhaime. He's a senior travel consultant, and today we're going to be talking about popular destinations for the summer through vacations and where to go when you want to get away and have a little vacation, as it is summertime.
Absolutely.
And school's done, or at least on their last week. So thank you for coming in.
My pleasure.
So let's start with popular destinations that people kind of gravitate towards during like the summer months.
As Canadians, we kind of have two seasons, a winter season and a summer season. In the winter, it's pretty easy to tell why people want to get out of this country because of the weather. But in the summer, we have decent weather usually, and so people kind of gravitate to traveling across the country, our own country. Atlantic Canada is very popular this time of the year, particularly for seniors who want to do motor coach tours or something that's inclusive and they don't have to worry about driving. But there's also people who will pick up a car in, say, Halifax and do their own Atlantic Canada drive, fly drive we call it. So they have accommodation booked for them for each night in advance. They have a car rental and their flights are booked, and so they just tour around on their own. So a little bit of independent travel as well. Now also, this season kind of switches from the winter destinations where we like the sun and the beaches to adventure tours. So people like to do Europe in the summer as well. So the flights kind of switch from the sun spots to the European destinations, where we have these fabulous river cruises where you can cross the country on a river boat and have an absolutely fantastic experience, or sail around the outside of the countries in the Mediterranean on a beautiful big cruise ship. And so there's all kinds of different travel types you can do.
And what sort of some things that people should remember if they're traveling outside of Canada, or like, going to the US or going to Europe?
I think the thing to remember is that you're not in your own country anymore. You really have to be a little bit prepared about what's going on, particularly if you're going to the Eastern Bloc countries. Know what the style is for them. In some cases you have to have a headdress. In some cases you can't have bare sleeves for the ladies. So there's lots of things you have to be careful about. But one of the most important things nowadays is to have proper travel insurance. We've noticed now that the province of Ontario has come out with a law that they're not prepared to pay for out-of-country medical expenses anymore. There are really good travel insurance companies who will look after those costs, so it's really important that you do that. The other thing is to have the proper documentation. Obviously a passport is required to leave the country, even to go to the US nowadays. But what people sometimes don't know is that you need a visa. You need permission to enter some of the countries, such as Australia or some of the Eastern Bloc countries. So it's not a matter of just getting on a plane, grabbing your passport and going. There's some preparation that needs to be done.
And with those preparations, like let's say someone is traveling to certain countries that need visas or permissions, how long in advance should they be preparing to travel those countries?
I think a simple rule of thumb would be 3 to 6 months. Maybe 3 months for a Western European country, perhaps a little longer to an Eastern Bloc or a Middle East country because of the requirements, and to get all your ducks in order and get all the travel agents you want to have pre-booked, looked after before you go.
And traveling to Europe especially, like they have so many different types of cultures that we may not have here. What are, I guess your opinion, what are some of the more unique places in Europe or other countries even that have different cultures than to be able to go experience?
There is so much history and culture in Europe that it's one of our personal favorite destinations. The closest thing we have to Europe in our own country would be Quebec City, the old Quebec City. So the cobblestone streets, the beautiful old buildings, the food, you have to sample the food. You got to kind of experience it like it is over there, and not order a hamburger, but order, the local dish and try it, because it's fantastic food. That's where basically it all started, is in France and Germany. The best food in the world is there.
Yeah. And really quickly before we wrap up, if anyone has any more, in-depth questions, or they want to get more of your experience, how can they get a hold of you? Absolutely.
We have summer hours now. We're open Monday to Friday, but in the winter months we're open 6 days a week. And you can certainly drop in the office or give us a call at Carlton, Wagon Travel. We'd be more than happy to help you. We have 5 of our really experienced agents. We've had one who just completed a river cruise here in the spring, and I've done 5 river cruises. So if you're looking to do Europe, we've got a lot of experience and a lot of suggestions we can give you.
Okay, well, perfect. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.